So this morning we are going to continue our study in the book of Ruth. Now, over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about Ruth. Chapter 1 was a pretty sad time because we learned about Naomi. And at the time, Israel, during the time of the Judges, Israel was suffering from a famine. And we learned in Judges that the reason a famine would come across the land of Israel was when they were living in disobedience. And so Naomi's husband, Elimelech, decided to move his family to the land of Moab. And if you remember, we talked about the Moabites and how the Moabites and the Israelites did not get along very well. In fact, when the Israelites were traveling through the land of Moab, after they had been freed from Egypt, that the Moabites, the king of Moab, tried to have a curse put on them. And so that did not end up well for the Moabites. And so there was just a lot of fighting with them. But anyways, Elimelech decides to move his family there. And it seems like shortly after they moved there that he ended up passing away. His sons got married. And then after they had been in the land for about 10 years, then Naomi's sons passed away as well. And then it was just her and her two daughters-in-law. Well, by this point, the land of Israel had been blessed. They had started getting rain and they were prosperous again, which means that at this time, Israel has started to follow God again. And so Naomi decided to move back home. And her two daughters-in-law were going to follow her, but Orpah decided to go back home to her family, to her religion, whereas Ruth was devoted to Naomi. And Ruth said that I will not go back. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. And when Naomi got back to Israel, back to Bethlehem, where she was from, people saw her, right, not having seen her for 10 years, and they didn't recognize her. You know, because Naomi's life was so hard over the past 10 years, I think she just really aged. There was just a lot of stress on her, and many of us know that while 10 years is not a long time for an adult, you know, that they don't change a whole lot in 10 years, when you live with stress, when you have these struggles, that this can and does happen to people. And so just a very difficult time for Naomi. And her name actually means, what? What does it mean? Yeah, it means pleasant. So when people said, is this Naomi? Naomi said, don't call me Naomi anymore. Call me Mara, which means bitter, because her life was bitter because God had not treated her well. And that's where we ended Ruth a couple of weeks ago. Then last week we focused on the question of why me? When bad things happen to you, what's a natural response that most of us ask? What's the question that most of us ask when bad things happen to us? Why me? God, what did I do to deserve this? And so we talked about the reasons why bad things happen to us. One reason is we just live in a fallen, broken world. And because of that, right, bad things happen. People die. People get sick. People suffer all these different illnesses, and people die unexpectedly because we live in a broken world. Also, because of sin in our lives individually. And so when bad things happen to us, when we suffer, a question we should ask is there unrepentant sin in my life? And if there is, I confess it to God. Right? I repent, I turn around, I move away from it, I don't do it anymore. Man, that's what we should do. There's other reasons why we go through difficulties, why we suffer. It's also so that we can help other people who are suffering as well. You know, there's a thing at self-help groups, you know, where people with the same issue that they're suffering, they come together to help each other. And those groups are historically effective because these people are not suffering alone. They're suffering with a group. And if you've suffered too, you can help somebody else. Remember, you're suffering, whatever it is, you're not alone. And then another reason is to help you grow. You know, if life is easy, we don't grow because there's no need to grow. When you suffer, it kind of forces us to grow. So we talked about all that. So we see Naomi, right, having suffered a lot, but I believe she's also grown a lot through this, which is why she went back to Israel, because she still served God, even though he treated her poorly, right? Even though life wasn't going her way, she still wanted to follow him. And I want to clarify this too. Just because, right, it seemed like he was treating her poorly, doesn't mean that he did. Doesn't necessarily mean that she was a sinner, that she was suffering because of sin in her life. It was sin because of the nation at the time. That's why they moved. That's why there was a famine. But God has a bigger plan, and we need to remember that. So today we're talking about whispers of hope, because as devastating as the first chapter is, there is a glimpse of hope for Naomi and Ruth. And that's something that we need to hold on to. It's something that we need to remember when we are suffering, that God does have a plan. And we may not know what that is, but we can be sure that we can trust him. But before we get into our passage for today, let's just bow our heads in a word of prayer. Lord, we just come before you today, and I just want to thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to share your word. Lord, for this opportunity just to learn from you. Lord, and today as we go through your word, as we learn more about Ruth and Naomi, Lord, I just pray that you would open our eyes and ears and hearts, Lord, that we would be ready to listen to whatever it is you have for us. Lord, that we would be eager, Lord, to just become more like you. Lord, as we talk about hope, I pray that's where our focus would be. Lord, that our focus would not be on all of the negative things that are happening to and around us, but Lord, that we would know that you have a plan, that you have a purpose for all things. In Jesus' name, amen. So the first thing that we're going to see, whispers of hope, is just hope through providence. What is providence? Well, providence is God is in charge. The opposite of providence is just luck. It's just happenstance. It's just a coincidence. Like it just happened. But in all of our situations that seem like circumstances, in reality, right, God knows what he's doing. And he uses the good things and bad things, good decisions, bad decisions that we make to do what he wants. To do what he wants. So let's read about providence here, starting with Ruth chapter 2, and doing chapter 2, starting with the first few verses here. Follow with me if you would. Now, Naomi had a relative of her husband's, a worthy man of the clan of Elimelech, whose name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, "Let me go to the field and glean among the ears of grain after him, in whose sight I shall find favor." And she said to her, "Go, my daughter." So she set out and went and gleaned in the field after the reapers. And she happened to come to the part of the field belonging to Boaz, who was of the clan of Elimelech. And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem, and he said to the reapers, "The Lord be with you." And they answered, "The Lord bless you." So here's the situation that we find ourselves in, beginning of chapter 2. The situation is that they're hungry. They need food. There's no job in that culture. Women really couldn't get a job, and a widow was at the mercy of her children. Well, she had Naomi had no sons at this time. So what could Ruth do, right? So the situation is dire, right? They're hungry. they're hungry. So what's the response? What does Ruth do? Well, she goes and she works by gleaning. Gleaning was something that they would do, they were able to do. If you look back in Deuteronomy chapter 24, Leviticus chapter 19, that there were laws that allowed foreigners, right, people who didn't belong, people who weren't part of the community, and widows to go through and glean the corner of the fields so they could pick up the leftover wheat so that they could provide for themselves and get some food. See, so many times when bad things happen to us and we're in a tough situation, what is our response? We just sit around all day, we gripe, we complain. Ruth didn't do that. She got up and she went to work. And the law stated that she could glean the corners, but if she would, or if a widow would ask for permission, she could actually work and glean behind the reapers. So as they missed a few pieces of grain here or there, she could follow up, pick up, clean up, and she could do that. But that was by permission only. So that's what she did. She asked permission. And the location, right out of all of the fields around Bethlehem that she could have gone to, she ended up being in Boaz's field. And let's see that again, right? So she set out and went and gleaned, this is verse 3, in the field after the reapers. And she happened to come to part of the field belonging to Boaz, right? She just happened, right? It's coincidence. No, it's not coincidence. You know, I think the Bible says that sometimes. It just so happened that this or that. No. God knew what he was doing, because it wasn't just a location that was perfect, but it was the timing as well that was perfect. As she was working, as she crossed into Boaz's field, Boaz comes, he visits from the city, he comes from Bethlehem to check on his crew, see how they're doing. The timing is perfect. You see all these things and how every situation, every decision made leads up to this meeting, leads up to this time. And it's amazing to me how God's timing is always right. God's timing is always perfect. And I've mentioned this before, but even, my coming here, that timing was right. And, I probably could have been here earlier, moved here with my family, but we didn't because I wasn't ready. So you guys had to wait a couple extra years as God was working on me and wanting me to come here to be with you. And so far, I think it's worked out pretty good. I enjoy being here, and you're just great people. You love the Lord, and you desire to grow. And that, to me, is so amazing. But it was God just worked everything out. I mean, to the week on some stuff, just with the process beginning and ending and all of that. It couldn't have been any better. And that's what happens when we follow God versus forcing his hand. Things just work out better. And I want you to take a moment and just think about the coincidences in your life that got you to where you are today. Was it pure luck? Or do you see God working behind the scenes? God is at work, and we need to recognize his hand in all things, right? There is no such thing as luck. God is in control. So we have hope through providence. We also have hope through kindness. And we see Boaz here and how Boaz shows kindness. And he starts off showing kindness because he's concerned. He notices Ruth and he's concerned. Follow with me, if you would, starting with verse 5. Then Boaz said to his young man who was in charge of the reapers, "Whose young woman is this?" And the servant who was in charge of the reapers answered, She is the young Moabite woman who came back with Naomi from the country of Moab. She said, please let me glean and gather among the sheaves after the reapers. So she came, and she has continued from early morning until now, except for a short rest. See, Boaz noticed Ruth, and he asked about her. She was a foreigner, and she could see that. And it's amazing how many times here in the book of Ruth, they bring up that Ruth was from Moab. Time after time after time. It mentions it. And I think it's kind of ironic because to be from Moab is a bad thing. It's not a good thing. Good people don't come from Moab. But I think what God is doing here is showing us that it's not where you come from. It's not your background, your ancestry that pleases him. It's your desire to follow him. And Ruth must have seen something in Naomi's life that Ruth was able to and willing to walk away from her childhood, from her friends, from her parents, to be with Naomi. I mean, think of the sacrifices she made to be to be with her mother-in-law. How many of you would forsake your family, your parents, your siblings, your friends, to be with your in-law, right? That's what Ruth did. That shows that she has character. But he was concerned. He wanted to know about this lady, and this kind of shows about her character too, because I want to mention that. It says, she said, verse 7 again, right? Please let me glean and gather among the sheaves after the reapers, right? She asked permission. Hey, can I follow you? They said yes. And she worked hard from early morning till maybe lunchtime, right? She worked all those hours with maybe just a short break. He also provided for her. Boaz provided for her. That's how he was kind. He didn't just say, wow, she's amazing. She's a good worker. I'm going to walk away. He actually provided for her. Let's read, starting with verse 8. It says, then Boaz said to Ruth, now listen, my daughter, do not go to glean in another field or leave this one, but keep close to my young women. Let your eyes be on the field that they are reaping, and go after them. Have I not charged the young men not to touch you? And when you are thirsty, go to the vessels and drink what the young men have drawn. Then she fell on her face, bowing to the ground, and said to him, why have I found favor in your eyes, that you should take notice of me, since I am a foreigner? Right? He provided for her. He gave her protection and comfort. You stay with my women, stay with my guys. They will protect you. I will make sure that nothing bad happens to you. And Ruth is like, I don't deserve this. Here she is in a foreign country, and she's not entitled at all. Some of the questions that people ask about Ruth, was she pretty? Was she good looking? Maybe is that why Boaz was attracted to her? He saw her from afar off and said, hey, she's kind of cute. Tell me about her. Maybe, I don't really know, but I do know that Ruth was beautiful on the inside. She was a hard worker. She was humble. She had loyalty, devotion. And I can't, and maybe you've experienced this too, but I remember young growing up, I see a girl, and I thought she was cute. I was like, man, she's kind of cute. I want to get to know her a little more. And I'd get to know her. And I realized, like, on the inside, she was ugly. She was selfish, just had attitude, whatever. And then she wasn't pretty anymore. And then there were other girls who, when I first saw them, I wasn't really attracted to them at all. But as I got to know them, I realized that they had a sweet personality. They were humble. They were loyal. They were hard workers. And then they were beautiful on the outside to me. And it's amazing because in our culture where we're at, how much time do we spend on the outward appearance versus the time we spend on the inward appearance. We will spend countless hours and money to make sure we look good on the outside, whether it's clothes or what have you. But how much time do we spend on the inside? Because that's what really matters. That's what counts. And that's what Ruth had. So I don't know if I saw Ruth on the street walking by, if I would be like, wow. But if I knew her, if you knew her, I think we all would be impressed just by how she lived, just character. And I think she is someone that we can and should emulate, that we could be like Ruth. And you know what? Boaz, he respected Ruth. He respected her. Because I think he felt the same way, starting with verse 11. But Boaz answered her, all that you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband has been fully told to me, and how you left your father and mother and your native land and came to a people that you did not know before. The Lord repay you for what you have done, and a full reward be given you by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. Then she said, I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, for you have comforted me and spoken kindly to your servant, though I am not one of your servants. Right? He respected her. What did he respect? He respected her decision. Man, you left everything to take care of Naomi. I'd heard about it. That is just amazing. That it was a major sacrifice that you made, and I want to take care of you. I want to make sure that you are rewarded for your loyalty. And he respected her. Do you respect it? Do you respect anybody? What kind of person do you respect? Do you respect somebody who's only out for themselves? They only care about themselves? Or do you respect somebody who cares for others, gives to others, right? Protects others? Yeah. Right? He respected her. Not only that, but he fed her as well. He fed her, starting with verse 14. And at mealtime, Boaz said to her, come here and eat some bread and dip your morsel in the wine. So she sat beside the reapers, and he passed to her roasted grain. And she ate until she was satisfied, and she had some left over. When she rose to glean, Boaz instructed his young men, saying, let her glean even among the sheaves, and do not reproach her. And also put out some from the bundles for her, and leave it for her to glean, and do not rebuke her. So he gives her lunch, right? Not just the grain that she picked up throughout that morning, but he gave her roasted grain, right? Seasoned. It was the good stuff. He gave her so much that she ate, she was full, and she had some left over. She didn't eat everything. And then not only did he feed her immediately with lunch, but what did he tell his guys? It's like, let her work with you, right? With you, and even purposely drop some of the good stuff so that she can pick up. So she's not just picking up the bad stuff that you leave behind. Give her some of the good stuff. He wasn't just thinking about her that day, or even Naomi that day, but long term, right? Provided for her. How can we be vessels of hope for others? Ruth's day is turning out pretty well, is it not? She got up that morning, told Naomi, hey, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to try to pick up some food off the ground, and we'll see what I come back with. By lunchtime, right after working hard all morning, by lunchtime she got a raise, right? Because not only did she get a free lunch, but also that afternoon, the rest of the day, she was given the best of the best as far as the people to come in to go in after the gleaners. She was able to pick up from them, or the reapers, I should say. And it's just amazing. So we need to ask ourselves, how can we extend kindness and protection to those in us in our community? Boaz did not have to do what he did. He could say, I don't want anybody taking my stuff. Don't give her permission to follow you guys. Put her in the corners. She can do that. She'll be fine. She's a big girl. Boaz didn't do that. That's how he gave hope. He also gave hope through provision. Well, how? Well, he gave her leftovers. So much that she had leftovers. Now, do you guys like leftovers? I love leftovers, right? And sometimes leftovers taste better when they're a day or two or maybe even a week old. Maybe not a whole lot beyond that. But leftovers, let's read verses 17 and 18. It says, "So she gleaned in the field until evening. Then she beat out what she had gleaned, and it was about an ephah of barley. And she took it up and went to the city. Her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned. She had also brought out and gave her what food she had left over after being satisfied." Wow. So much food, right? And Ruth did something incredible here. She came home with the good stuff. She could have snuck that in her pocket and ate it without giving it to Naomi, but she didn't do that. She said, "Look what I brought home." And it's not just this. It's this as well. You're going to want this stuff. This stuff is good. It's already made up. Just to see God's provision through all of this is absolutely amazing. They woke up that morning, probably had no food to eat, and then come evening, they had a bounty. God always provides, always provides. Not only did God provide leftovers, but he also provided a redeemer. Starting with verse 19, it says, "And her mother-in-law said to her, 'Where did you glean today? And where have you worked? Blessed be the man who took notice of you.' So she told her mother-in-law with whom she had worked and said, 'The man's name with whom I worked today is Boaz.' And Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, 'May he be blessed by the Lord, whose kindness has not forsaken the living or the dead.' Naomi said to her, 'The man is a close relative of ours, one of our redeemers.'" Right? He was a kinsman redeemer. Now, that was, okay, so God had a law back then, and what would happen is if there was a widow, right, if they lost a husband, then the family would provide for her, but if her kids were gone, which in this case, right, Naomi didn't have kids, Ruth didn't have kids, they were left on their own. But if there was a close male relative, right, it was their responsibility, and they could pass on it, they didn't have to do it, but it was their responsibility to marry the widow and then have a child with them and try to have a male through them. And then that male then would not be the living father's son, but would actually be considered the son of the deceased. That way, the land and possessions could still be passed down from generation to generation. That way, no families could be blotted out. So they would help each other in this way. And so when Naomi finds out, man, this guy is awesome. Man, may he be blessed. Oh, it's Boaz. I know Boaz. He is a close relative of ours. He is actually one of our redeemers. Glory be to God. This is amazing, right? So God provided not just leftovers and not just a redeemer, but also job security. Job security for Ruth. Let's continue on here with verse 21. "And Ruth the Moabite said, 'Besides,' he said to me, 'you shall keep close by my young men until they have finished all my harvest.' And Naomi said to Ruth, her daughter-in-law, 'It is good, my daughter, that you go out with his young women, lest in another field you be assaulted.' So she kept close to the young women of Boaz, gleaning until the end of the barley and wheat harvest, and she lived with her mother-in-law." Job security right? Because Boaz said, I don't want you working anywhere else. I don't want you working in any other field. I want you to work with my women. I want you to stay close to my men. They won't touch you. They will protect you. They will keep you from being harassed. They will keep you from being assaulted. You're safe with me. How welcoming do you think that was for both Naomi as well as Ruth? Right? Not only did she have a job this harvest, but the next one as well. Not just the wheat harvest, but the barley harvest as well. You see, God provides. Naomi, at the end of chapter 1, she had nothing except for Ruth. That was it. At the end of chapter 2, whispers of hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So many times as we go through suffering, we go through darkness. And sometimes we just hope for that ray of light. You know, we've experienced that here with rain. You know, we'll have cloudy days for weeks with no sunlight. And the day the clouds separate a little bit and there's a little bit of sun coming through. That's amazing. It's like, oh, I forgot what color the sky was. It's blue. I forgot. I thought it was just gray. You know, and so how long has it been cloudy for Naomi? 10 years. Maybe more, maybe less. But it's been a while. She lost her husband. She lost her boys. And now she just has her daughter-in-law. She's moved back, devastated, nothing to show for it. And then Boaz shows up. Does he show up by accident? No. He shows up because God has a plan. We need to trust God to provide for us. Even when resources seem scarce, even when it seems like we may not have enough to make it through the day, God will provide in the most miraculous ways. So I encourage you, never lose hope. Never lose hope. Reflect on his past faithfulness. When God has provided for you in a miraculous way in the past, he can do that, and he has. Will he do it again? Yes. Guaranteed, specifically if you're following him. He's going to provide for you. He may not give you more than you need, but he will give you what you need. Don't lose hope. Know that he will take care of you. And live like that. Live each day knowing that Jesus Christ is there for you. He is not out to get you. You're suffering because we live in a sinful world. But his love and what he did for us on the cross should give us more hope than we could ever ask for. Let's pray.